Hey, what's good? Lately, it feels like the president has really taken aim at people that look a lot like me. The more I looked into it, the more I kept hearing this name, Stephen Miller. This is a video from the Now This Impact channel entitled, "Who is Stephen Miller? Meet Trump's Senior Advisor for Policy." I'm going to be working on a logo for a friend of the channel, Sergeant Rhodes. Before we get into it, remember to go to coconutjustice.com to get you some clothes that I think would look good on you. Let's go. All right. This should be interesting. I've heard rumblings about this young man. To me, he already looks like Earthworm Jim. No spine. Doesn't work out. Probably doesn't work out. He's one of those wormy dudes that talks a lot of trash because he probably has a little bit of money and his parents are probably taking care of him and keep him out of jail and stuff like that. The little bit that I know about this guy, all I know is that he's very unimpressive. Let's see. Hopefully this hopefully this video will I don't know, shed light on that.
I'll attend interagency meetings, Chris, where I know for a certain fact if I don't invite the right people, the meeting will leak.
Speaking of leaks, President Trump's speechwriter and architect of the administration's anti-immigration policies, Stephen Miller, sent at least 900 emails to editors at the far-right news site Breitbart between 2015 and 2016. This week...
If you don't know, Breitbart is somewhat like Fox News, just printed materials. You know, they do, I believe they do like... It's like I want to say they're probably like a mix between Fox News and the Heritage Foundation, I think. They put a lot of money towards, you know, it's just stuff that doesn't work. It's stuff that does not work.
And what was in those now leaked emails? Spoiler alert, racist stuff. Hate Watch, a blog that monitors the far right, obtained the leak emails from Katie McCue.
And this is what I'm afraid of. This is the reason why I wanted to watch this with you guys is because I have heard that he's a part of like this white supremacy push that's only obvious that's happening. Hopefully there's a little more substance to it, because if it's just that simple, then, you know. And this was 5 years ago, so Trump wasn't even in office yet. So we're going to have somewhat outdated information. Like these guys are full on hunting brown people. Yeah, let's see.
Who was an editor for Breitbart between 2014 to 2017.
And for the record, the fact that he's associated to Breitbart, I'm already tainted. Someone already pooped in the punch.
She leaked the emails to Hate Watch in June of this year for review. She was fired from the far-right publication in 2017 after posting anti-Muslim tweets. She now rejects the far right. In the emails, 80% of which relate to the themes of race or immigration, Miller sometimes pitched stories to McHugh, and she sometimes sought out his opinion regarding the direction of her reporting. In the mountain of emails, Miller shared links from white nationalist sites. He plugged The Camp of the Saints, a story about the Great Replacement myth. He pitched a story about how Amazon pulled Confederate merchandise down but still sold, quote, commie flags in the wake of the Charleston church shooting, in which 9 black churchgoers were murdered by a white supremacist.
Tacky.
Miller wrote, quote, "Have you thought about going to Amazon and finding the commie flags and then doing a story on that? It's not a coincidence that in the midst of pushing the U.S.-ending trade deal, we're seeing a historic artifact of real America be demonized and destroyed," unquote. Miller also expressed support for the same immigration policies that Hitler backed.
This isn't a courtroom, and I have a right to speak.
Settle down, calm down.
Jake.
I have a question for you about issues.
McHugh told Hate Watch, quote, "What Stephen Miller sent to me in those emails has become policy at the Trump administration," unquote. If you want to learn more about how Stephen Miller went from rejecting his liberal roots to fully supporting the far right, here's Deborah Messing on Trump's fiery immigration hawk.
Torture is the way to go. Torture is a celebration of life and human dignity.
That's Stephen Miller, President Trump's senior advisor for policy. He is the mastermind behind the Muslim ban and served as Trump's warm-up act en route to the White House. So who is he?
I don't know much about him, but I know that he's pretty right-wing.
Stephen Miller was raised by Democratic parents deep in liberal, multicultural California, and it didn't take long for him to reject it all. Stephen's middle school classmates say he's a motivated, serious guy, or at least that he wants to be taken seriously. But the execution isn't always exactly smooth. When he and other students were discussing how to fairly divide the last slice of a pizza, Miller reportedly decided to just slap his hand down on it, and no one wanted it after that.
Yeah, so he's a douchebag.
By 14, Miller was a cultural warrior with a love for Star Trek. A friend and fellow Trekkie said Miller called him to break off their friendship. "I can't be your friend anymore because you are Latino," he said. Miller continued his war against minorities throughout high school. He wrote columns attacking Hispanic students for not speaking English.
Am I the only one who is sick and tired of being told to pick up my trash when we have plenty of janitors who are paid to do it for us?
Miller went on to Duke University, where his regular column, Miller...
That's how beta males speak. That's how beta males speak. Because if you were about anything, you wouldn't have to talk like that. You're not man enough to pick up your own trash. You're not man enough to... It'd be interesting to see, you know. It'd be interesting to see when everything finally washes off, when this stain... he's a stain in the underwear of time, but when this stained time, like all these guys, when all is said and done and all the hoopla is done, and now we have to sit down and actually get back to fixing the country and making the country a better place, a more efficient place, a more not douchebaggy place. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting where these folks start to hide. Right now they're hiding in government, but the way it's playing out for me is this is their last gasp. That's why they're going hard in the paint. Because after this, we have eyes on everything now. We have videos for everything. Black folks and brown folks have been telling you for decades and centuries that we're being treated unfairly. And now that everyone's got a phone, everyone's got video cameras, everyone's a reporter now. You're not going to be able to keep getting away with this dumb stuff.
Gained infamy for its hardline conservative views. Miller gained the most attention when he made his first television appearance on Fox News and openly defended the Duke lacrosse case.
It was always for them about their political agenda, and their political agenda has been from day one to make a big issue out of racism and gender and class warfare.
After school, Miller looked for work on Capitol Hill. Following a stint with notorious Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann, he joined the man who would take him all the way to Donald Trump, Senator Jeff Sessions. Miller joined the Trump campaign soon after, regularly appearing as Trump's warm-up act at campaign rallies and working crowds into a frenzy with red meat rhetoric.
Will you come out and...
Another beta. That's what betas do. Betas will latch on to... Trump is, you got to give him his props. Trump is an alpha. He comes in and he makes decisions and he makes things, even though at first terrible as they are. He's a bullshit alpha. All of these little skinny neck, slimy dudes, these betas, these little sissies right here, do away with that. Do away with that. You know how hard it is to talk like that when you don't have mom and dad's money to hide behind, when you don't have this dum-dum to hide behind.
Vote for your country and your family and your children. Are you prepared to seize this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity?
But he didn't have a national profile until July 2016, when he helped pen Trump's nomination speech at the Republican National Convention. For 75 straight minutes, the longest convention speech in over 40 years, Trump painted Miller's portrait of America, a failed state cratering on the verge of dystopia, besieged by immigrants.
then leave. Then leave. If you don't like how it's working, then leave. Get up and go. Go back to wherever you come from. Go back to your country. Go back to England. Go back to wherever the hell you're from. We don't need you here.
Rapists, cop killers, and terrorists, despite the economic and statistical evidence to the contrary. After the election, Miller continued to cultivate a key role in Trump's White House inner circle. Along with chief strategist Steve Bannon, Miller is widely...
And Trump is a punk for filling his cabinets with all these goons, all these thieves, all these... Every one of these people, Kushner, his family got rich off of being slumlords. This coward, the one in the middle, he's a punk little sissy that talks a lot of trash. Chances are his family has a lot of money and he's going to be talking trash. If he grew up in the streets of Chicago, he wouldn't be talking like this. If he was in the streets of LA, he wouldn't be talking like this. And then this knucklehead on the right, he started a nonprofit. All of you dum-dums gave money to his nonprofit, and then he bought a yacht.
As an architect of Trump's first
of
executive
thieves.
order banning visitors from 7 Muslim-majority countries. When that
Cowards.
travel ban was later rejected by the
Beta.
courts, Miller came out of the shadows to lead the public attack.
I'm
hear
prepared
what
to
the
go on
sissy
any
has to
show,
say.
anywhere.
Tell me he doesn't play with boys. Tell me, not boys, not little boys. I'm saying this dude is a beta, and he is a bottom.
Time and repeat it and say the President of the United States is correct 100%.
But that may be the last collaboration between the two Steves. As Trump distanced himself from Bannon, so did Miller. One White House advisor reported, he made it clear he isn't a Bannon guy. Instead, Miller began aligning himself with Jared Kushner, working closely with Kushner's Office of Innovation. Miller,
Crook.
the man who once wrote an op-ed titled
Kushner the
Sorry
Crook.
Feminists, is also spearheading women's issues alongside Ivanka Trump, tackling topics such as family leave and childcare. He claimed that the gender pay gap is a myth and argued that women get paid less because men work longer hours and choose better paying jobs. Miller wrote, "The pay gap has virtually nothing to do with gender discrimination. Sorry, feminists. Hate to break this good news to you." A former Republican congressional aide recalls he and his colleagues feeling creeped out a little bit, watching Miller at Trump's campaign rallies. All the anger right underneath the surface just waiting to come through. Like, what's gonna happen when this guy gets the power? Now the world is starting to find out.
Are you ready?
Yep. And now we know. This is what it looks like when a bunch of cowards, a bunch of betas. This is what happens when you give everyone trophies. This is what happens. This is what happens when you fill your little boy with little ideas, and then you give him all the money and you take care of him and you don't let anybody check his face. We're going to go ahead and bring this plane into landing because there's no good thing to say about this guy. This guy is a beta. This guy is a coward. He hides behind rich, powerful people, whether it be the president, whether it be his parents, whether it be whatever. He's bad news. And then he goes and he starts picking fights with the black and brown community. And he's been talking trash. He's been talking trash, just like Trump, just like Steve Bannon, just like all those knuckleheads. They talk a lot of trash. Their parents gave them everything. And then they're taking your money, and you guys keep letting them do this stuff. And now they have the military in the streets. They're scooping up good members of good families. They're destroying all of this, and it's amazing how some of you guys are here for it. And yeah, and the thing is that you probably, if you like what's happening today, you probably co-sign to this shit. And you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn. You can't keep doing this stuff. Nobody wants to live like this anymore. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, share it with each and every one of your friends. And if you want to come hang out with me, watch videos while I work on creative projects, hit that subscribe button and then change the little alert thing to says all. So every time I come out with something new, you'll be alerted. Don't forget to go to coconutjustice.com and get some dope gear. And with that, I'm out.
Coconut Justice.